At my son's birthday party, the laughter felt wrong. I couldn't explain it then, the way the music thumped too loud, the smiles too rehearsed, or how my son's wife, Meredith, wouldn't quite meet my eyes. I had just raised my glass for a quiet toast when my granddaughter, Molly, grabbed my arm with trembling fingers. "Grandpa," she whispered, her voice tight with panic, "please, leave, now." I frowned. "What? Why?" Her eyes darted toward her parents. "Just go, please, trust me." Something in her tone, that pure, terrified urgency, froze me. I'd spent 68 years reading people, decades negotiating with men who could lie while smiling. Molly wasn't lying. Her fear was real. I nodded slightly. "All right, sweetheart," I said softly, pretending to adjust my jacket. "I forgot something in my car." I slipped through the hallway, feeling dozens of cheerful voices echo behind me, laughter that suddenly sounded like mockery. Outside, the air was cold, sharp, cleansing. I reached my car and realized my hands were shaking. What on earth had she meant? I drove home in silence, my mind replaying every detail of the night. The forced warmth in Trevor's hug, the way Meredith had poured my wine again and again, always keeping my glass full. The way Trevor had insisted, almost demanded I see the upstairs renovations before dessert. That phrase kept looping in my mind. See the upstairs. I tried calling Molly later that night, but she didn't pick up. When she finally texted, it was just 5 words. "I'll explain when it's safe." Sleep didn't come easily. My mind drifted back over the last few months. Trevor's sudden obsession with my company, his desperate requests for investment capital, and his anger when I refused. He'd said something I couldn't shake. "You won't be around forever, Dad. Maybe it's time to think about passing things down." I had laughed it off at the time, but now, lying in bed, staring at the dark ceiling, those words chilled me. By morning, the unease had curdled into something heavier. When I walked out to my car to buy groceries, I stopped dead. All 4 tires were flat, not slow leaks, deliberate punctures, thin, perfect holes, evenly spaced. Whoever did it knew exactly what they were doing. I crouched beside one tire, my heart pounding. The nails embedded in the rubber were identical to the ones I kept in my workshop. I looked up the quiet street, nobody around, just a few birds on the power lines, my hands clenched around the keys. I dialed Trevor. "Morning, Dad," he said, feigning cheer. "Everything all right?" "Someone slashed my tires last night." Silence. Then, too quickly, "Oh, probably kids messing around. Spring break, you know." My voice was flat. "All 4 tires, Trevor. Neatly punctured." Another pause. Then, "You're not accusing me, are you?" But I heard it, the flicker of guilt behind his calm tone, the kind that only a father can recognize. Something was coming. I could feel it. And the next time Molly called, I'd make sure to listen. AAA took 40 minutes to arrive. The mechanic confirmed what I already knew. 4 precision punctures, done with intent. I signed the estimate, watched my Honda get hauled away, and stood in the driveway feeling the quiet press against my ribs. My phone buzzed. "Grandpa, are you home? Can you talk?" She took a breath I could hear. "They plan to get you drunk and take you upstairs to sign renovation permits. They're not permits, Grandpa. There were lawyers in the guest room." Mom called them witnesses. Dad kept saying, "He trusts me when he's relaxed." "Transfer papers?" "Yes, for your company. Power of attorney, too." I saw the folder, blue binder, gold clip. "Mom told Dad not to spook you. That's why she kept topping off your wine, and why he pushed the tour." The refilled glass and the push to see the upstairs snapped into focus. "You did the right thing," I said, fighting the sick heat rising in my chest. "You saved me." "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't know what else to do." "You were brave." We hung up. Then a soft voice floated across the hedge. "Evening, Glenn." Mrs. Henderson stood on her porch, cardigan wrapped tight. "Dorothy, I said, stepping outside. "Did you happen to see anyone near my car last night?" Her eyes tightened. "I wasn't sure if I should tell you, but yes. Around 9:30, Trevor walked out, looked around, crouched by each tire, and pressed something in. Shiny, like a nail. There are moments a father feels something break and keep breaking. This was one." "Thank you," I managed. "I keep my porch dark," she added softly. "He didn't see me." When I finally sat at my desk, I didn't feel angry. I felt awake. The folders I'd kept for years. Miami condos, crypto equipment, the food truck, stared back like a row of verdicts. I opened a yellow legal pad and wrote 3 lines. 1. Secure everything. 2. Document everything. 3. Choose the battlefield. I called my attorney, Carla Ruiz, the only person who'd ever outnegotiated me and still sent Christmas cookies. "Carla, I need 2 things. A temporary freeze on any authority expansions related to my company, and a review of my current power of attorney documents." "On it," she said. "Expect drafts by end of day." "Anything else?" "Advice for dealing with family who hire witnesses." "Paper beats wine," she said dryly. "Lock down your accounts, put cameras on your doors, and don't meet them alone." After we hung up, I changed every password, enabled 2-factor on anything that could touch money, and scheduled a locksmith. Then I brewed coffee so strong it smelled like an apology and started printing. Bank records, emails, texts, dates, amounts, a lattice of choices that told a single story. At noon, Trevor called again. I let it ring. Then again. Meredith, from a blocked number. Voicemail. Ignored. I waited. Sometimes the smartest move is to let the other side think the air is calm. The storm knows better. The next day, the phone rang again. Trevor's number flashing across the screen like a warning light. This time, I answered. "Dad," he began quickly. Too quickly. "Listen, about yesterday. Forget it, okay? We both overreacted. Meredith's throwing a small dinner tomorrow for my birthday. Family only. 6 o'clock sharp." I didn't respond right away. My hand tightened around the receiver. "That's thoughtful of you," I said finally, keeping my tone even. "You'll come, right? Molly will be there. She really wants to see you." That last line cut through me. He knew I couldn't say no to her. "Of course," I said. "I'll be there." "Great," he said, sounding relieved. "And Dad, thanks for not holding grudges. It means a lot." We hung up. I stared at the phone long after the line went dead. A peace offering or a trap that wasn't finished yet? I decided to prepare for both. By the time Saturday evening came, I was ready mentally, at least. I took a taxi instead of driving, wearing a small recorder clipped inside my jacket, just in case. I'd told Carla, my lawyer, where I was going and what time to expect my check-in message. When the taxi pulled up, the house looked different. Brighter. Too bright. Through the windows, I saw movement people mingling. Music playing softly. Laughter that didn't reach the eyes. The driveway was lined with cars. Trevor opened the door before I could knock. "Dad, you made it." He hugged me too tight, too performative, and led me inside. The living room sparkled with expensive decorations that hadn't been there before. Crystal glasses, chandeliers, catered platters of food. "Impressive," I said, scanning the room. Meredith appeared, her perfume hitting me like a fog. "Glenn, so good you could make it," she purred. "It means the world to Trevor." Then Molly appeared, her smile too forced, her eyes flicking nervously toward the kitchen. "I'm glad you came," she whispered, when no one was looking. The evening moved in a blur. Toasts, laughter, wine refills I didn't touch. Trevor's hand lingered too long on my shoulder each time he poured. The guests were unfamiliar, well-dressed, polite, but none of them spoke like friends. "Dad," Trevor said, eventually, "come upstairs with me for a second. I want to show you something. The new bathroom fixtures. We went all out this time." Meredith was suddenly beside him. "Yes, Glenn, you must see it. We spared no expense." "No expense," I repeated softly. "I can imagine." Before I could respond, Molly appeared again, pale, trembling, eyes wide. She gripped my arm, her voice low, but sharp with fear. "Grandpa, please, you need to leave. Right now." Her hand was shaking. "What are you talking about?" Trevor demanded, his tone hardening. "Grandpa, go," she repeated, louder now, her eyes glassy with tears. I looked from her face to theirs. Trevor's fake confusion, Meredith's frozen smile, and the truth hit me like cold water. I stood slowly, setting my untouched drink on the counter. "It's been a lovely evening," I said calmly, slipping on my coat. "But I think I'll head home." "Dad, don't be ridiculous." But I was already walking toward the door. And in Meredith's reflection on the window, I saw it a flicker of panic. The kind you see only when someone's plan just fell apart. The cool night air hit my face like truth. I didn't look back until I reached the end of the driveway. Behind me, laughter still poured from the house, but it sounded hollow now, mechanical. My cab waited at the curb. I got in without a word. As we pulled away, I finally exhaled. My hands were trembling, the way they do after a close call on the highway. Halfway home, I pulled out my phone and called Molly. She answered instantly. "Grandpa, are you safe?" "I'm fine," I said. "Now talk to me. What's going on?" Her voice shook. "I overheard Mom and Dad yesterday. They hired lawyers to come to the house. They were going to get you drunk, take you upstairs, and make you sign the transfer documents. The business, the house, everything. They said once you were confused enough, you wouldn't notice." My chest tightened. "You're certain?" "Yes. Mom even rehearsed it with Dad. She told him to act casual, let me refill his glass. It all clicked the party. The fake warmth, the constant offers of wine. "Thank you, sweetheart," I said, voice low. "You saved me tonight." "I couldn't let them do it," she whispered. "They said it was for the family, but I knew it wasn't. Mom said once you signed, they'd send you on a long vacation to Florida." Florida. I almost laughed. The cruelty of it. When I hung up, I just sat there in the dark cab, staring at the lights streaking past. I felt the kind of silence that comes right before a storm, not of weather, but of will. Back home, I poured myself black coffee and sat in my study. The clock ticked loud against the wall. On the desk sat 40 years of my work blueprints, contracts, balance sheets. My life, printed in paper and ink. Then a voice called out from outside. "Evening, Glenn." Mrs. Henderson stood on her porch, wrapped in her shawl. "I wasn't sure if I should tell you this," she said softly. "But the night after you and Trevor argued, I saw him by your car. He walked around it, knelt down, did something to each tire, looked like a nail or a screw. I didn't want to interfere, but now, you should know." I nodded slowly. "You did right, Dorothy." That sealed it. My son hadn't just tried to manipulate me. He'd tried to destroy me, piece by piece, first my property, then my trust, then my legacy. I went back inside and opened the filing cabinet marked Trevor Investments. Years of documents stared back at me, every failed scheme, every loan, every broken promise. Miami condos, crypto mining, a food truck scam. I laid them out across the desk, one by one, like evidence in a trial. I drew a single line on my notepad. He started this war, I'll finish it. By dawn, my plan was ready. Not revenge, not yet. Just truth. The kind that couldn't be denied, deleted, or drowned in wine.